Well, howdy doody. What's the old saying? What's for dinner? What's for dinner? You know what? I'm a hypocrite. Yeah. Yep. I'll tell you straight up. Instead of being called Iceman, I should be called Hypocrite Man. For what I preach, what I do. Yeah. Follow my channel. Yeah. Iceman, the Hypocrite Man. Because you know what? I'm done. You know what I'm going to do? I'm having a drink. All right, I'm going to have a bottle of vodka, or am I going to have a glass of vodka and lemonade? All right, full disclosure, everybody. I caved. Yeah, everybody, I let you down. I gone back to drinking. What's the Billy Joel song? Only the good die young. Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Only the good die young. I think that's what he said. So, you know what? I got one check mark to my advantage because I'm not being good. So does that mean I ain't dying tomorrow? Yeah, sadly, we know these stories. Only good do die young. But here I am. This iPhone is the worst. I don't know what the hell I just said or you didn't hear. I said, yeah, I broke down last night and I had my drink, my cigar, and then I even went to the Captain Morgan. Yeah, man, that's good stuff. So for me, am I back on the wagon? Yeah, so here we are out here with the dogs and all, and we're just chilling out, and it's really cooled down. I put my shorts on, but I just turned off the fan. I'm making a lot of videos, but I'm using the iPhone right now, which totally sucks. The iPhone is the worst. Problem is, everybody, I am downloading now videos from today, and this takes a lot of work, everybody. Not here to complain. So I've downloaded 2 videos. I got like 2 or 3 more to go. It's already 7:23, and I'm still on duty, everybody. And the dogs keep on running across the field. But one thing for sure, this 4-wheeler right here saves me every time, because if I start it up, they do come back. But they're chasing the birds now. So what if that stupid ass damn snapping turtle? I wouldn't be so worried about them going back and forth. But now I really got to keep my eye on that damn creek. I know. But I think usually the thing shows up and then it just eventually goes away. So eventually goes and hibernates or gets in the deep end of the pond. So who the hell knows? But a beautiful evening here, everybody. Really is. And it's the summer. You know, it's incredible. Memorial Day weekend, I believe. Yeah, I believe Memorial Day weekend is this weekend. Wow. Just time flies. Time flies. And the wife will be out of town for Memorial Day weekend, even though it's our anniversary, everybody. 29 years. We do need Memorial Day just for that reason, don't we? Yeah. Married to me. I can only imagine. Yeah. So, anyways, just hanging out here, enjoying the evening. So I'm going to be a bachelor coming up this weekend. Yes, I am. That kind of seems to be who I am. And the breaking news. When do you get the breaking news? Well, not yet, everybody. Breaking news. And there's a dog all playing across the way, doing their thing. And like I say, if I go down there, it's a pond. So now I got to keep an eye on them. But I'll show you how you get them back. It's pretty cool. All you got to do is start up his 4-wheeler. Ginger totally played me earlier. Totally played me. So now, here we go. Let's hop. Wow. They're not responding. I'm in trouble. Diesel has looked, nope, careful. Diesel's really, for the first time, since he's been injured, he really is starting to look like himself again. He's putting some weight on. And believe it or not, I never did take him to the doctor. So I never did take him to get checked again, which I'm supposed to. But my mind's been mush for all the stuff that's going on in my life. There you go, Tango likes his boy. But Diesel, for the first time, really, if you look at him, he's really getting back his strength and athletic ability. And he's kind of starting to fill out again. So that's great news. We're blessed, everybody. We're truly blessed. And here's Tango that wants to take care of his brother. Hey, Tango. That doesn't work, you goofball. Yeah, so anyways, here we are just hanging out. I'm going to have a smoke. Yeah, I'll show you that shortly. How about that idea? One thing I've definitely learned about YouTube, once you make a video of more than 30 minutes, forget it. You got to stay under that 30-minute threshold, 20, 25-minute videos. That's the best thing to do. As I chill out here. Oh, you know what I got to do? See, this is where it's so dangerous, everybody. When you own these electric vehicles, if you don't remember to plug them in, I mean, this is a big problem. I guarantee you there's stories galore of people that have these electric vehicles. I just filled up the water, fresh water. So the dogs are all, I do it every day. Every day I make fresh water. This car here is getting crap all over. I told Brian we got to take this thing to the car wash. I'm not going to accept this car getting trashed. I got to get the, so here you touch this button. It's just, there it is. So here, oh, so what happened is Brian kind of parked this thing far away. Not real radical, but it definitely is. So the Chevy charge is a little different. Now see here, if I don't get this thing in the barn door, it'll get caught while I'm opening the door up. I'll remember that tonight. I'm really enjoying, let's see here if this thing goes yellow. Sometimes that thing goes yellow. You got to power it off, power it back in, or plug it in, plug it back in. Really enjoying dogs in order to live in my camper. No way, man. It's not worth it. The hair, it's just, they're dirty. The dogs are dirty. I mean, my bed, I'm not lying to you. I used to lay in my bed, and it was like sand in my bed from the dogs, literally jumping in my bed. And so here's the thing. When they were younger, I definitely wanted that time with them as they were younger and they're smaller to have that real fun, kind of real, more intimate relationship with them because they're so young. But now that they're older and big and they roll around and everything, I just, no way. And then the hair. Oh, I'll take a seat here, and wasn't so long ago that I'd be sitting here listening to stories. Yeah. So the big thing, not so long ago, I'd be right here with my sidekick and we'd just be hanging out. And I would hear the day and we'd talk about things and talk about popcorn and talk about Uncle Davey and talk about my business some, but that sometimes irritated the kids. You got tired of hearing all the stuff on look at Tango. This dog is a homo. Tango, he's a homo. Yeah, so anyway, we'd be hanging out here together, chilling out, having a nice evening. And I honestly don't know what the hell they have right there. I think it's one of the balls. There's Tango. Tango's pounding Willow. He's don't matter what your age is, everybody. You still want to have a good time. You know that? Yeah. I mean, look at Hugh Hefner. Look at all the millionaires who get old and decrepit, and they still are able to find the cute-ass girl to come sleep with them. I wonder why. Look at Bill Belichick. I mean, oh, my God. Seriously? I mean, Bill Belichick? Oh, my gosh. Yikes. I guess they get stoned off their ass. So, what is going on here? Look. Yeah, see, so now Rebel and Diesel, they're getting into it. So Diesel's definitely getting his energy back. There's Gypsy. That's her famous look. The lady that brought her home, took a picture of her just like that. That she's loving life. There's Ginger, Mrs. Little This little Ginger who plays the daddy's tune. Uh-huh. And there's Scout. And everybody's sharing the... Yeah, there's Tango. Tango, man, he just can't get enough, everybody. He's a horn dog. Yeah, look at him. He's a horn dog. And Willow just likes it. There they are. Here we go. Here goes the entertainment, everybody. Just don't go down that damn creek. Well, Gail and Brian had the funeral today, so just hearts and prayers for Gail and Brian. They're down there in Atlanta, or they're down in Georgia. I don't know exactly where they are, so. But today, I guess, Gail buried her father with her brother, and apparently Gail was very close to her father. So sorry, condolences to the family. Hope that they are able to get through the sorrows. That's the challenge in life. I'll be going through it on June 14th when I'll be with the family, and it'll become much more emotional because my sisters and my brother and one sister will probably be very emotional. If as I would expect, I'll be probably getting in front of the attendees of having to give a little speech and talk, and I don't know. I would imagine that's what will happen. And my mother was well known at the Church of Christ that they were attending for 30 plus years, 35 years. So I'm sure there'll be a good amount of people there because my dad has been an elder for 20 plus years, 25 plus years. And he's the president of the church, so I can only imagine there's going to be a lot of people at that celebration of life on June 14th in Northwest Church of Christ, Tampa. If anybody's on my YouTube channel and wants to come by and say hi, you're more than welcome. But I showed a video with the name of the funeral home, and if anybody, I planted 3 trees. I donated like $100 for 3 trees that were planted in North Carolina to represent my wife and Julia and myself and honor my mother. And my mother was, my mother's ashes. I gotta get an urn still. I'm just trying to kind of come to closure. What urn? You know, in so many ways, today's world, you think about it, if you do the conventional thing, look at Tango. He's just having a good old time out there, everybody. He's having a blast. His brother... He just loves his brother. What is that all about, everybody? The, you know, in so many ways, you think about when you're buried in a cemetery, how often will people come visit you? Probably not much. You're the forgotten one. Now, if you have an urn, you're always going to have your perished loved one right near you. So in so many ways, it's better just to be cremated. But now, see, there's religious language that says that you'll be resurrected, and you shouldn't. I mean, it's I don't know. I'm not the biblical person, but my father had to come to closure on having cremation as a choice for his wife and my mother, and anyways, the Bible in some ways represents you shouldn't do that. But in other ways, it's your spirit, it's your soul that goes to heaven, not your body, not your physical remains. So the question is, you know, what's appropriate? My dad had to talk to the minister of our church, Dane, and really get a clear understanding of what's right versus wrong. And come to closure, what is the appropriate action? And the thing is, anymore, everybody, if you want to buy a plot, if you didn't buy a plot 30, 40, 50 years ago, good luck. Good luck between the plot and the casket, the burial services. I guarantee you today, that's $50,000 to $100,000. I guarantee you a plot today is a $30,000, $50,000 purchase, maybe more. I can assure you that the funeral services of buying a casket, I can guarantee you that's another $10,000 or $20,000. So you'll go broke. You'll go broke if your spouse dies suddenly And now they request in their will that they want to be. I need to change my will. My will says that I would be buried here in Leesburg, but I think I'm going to change my will to cremation, because it would just be unfair to my wife to have to go out and buy a plot upon my death, and then funeral services of, through the roof. She would be probably indebted to $100,000+. I'd only hope she'd just take the common sense and say, for what? The guy smoked cigars and liked ashes. Let's just let him participate in his ashes. There you go. My wife could get me a drinking urn, cigar urn. How about that idea? So, once again, it's all about the money factor. You can't leave this world without having to spend a ton of money. What a joke, right? So I'm just hanging out here thinking out loud. There's Ginger. Ginger's now going to go play the game of chase down Scotty Boy. Look at her stealth mode. And Gypsy's going to ruin it. Oh, here we go. It's incredible how I've gotten Scout's eyes back to looking normal. His eyes, back when I came back, November, December, November I was gone, part of December was gone. I was back here in January. Scout's eyes were all white and clouded over, and the doctor was saying he's going blind. My wife went out and spent a ton of money on meds. But I was like, that ain't the problem, babe. He eats too much and he sits around too much. That's your challenge. You gotta move. You gotta move, everybody. Move, move, move. So like right now, it is 8 o'clock basically, and I'm just finally sitting down, besides riding around a damn lawnmower all day, but I'm just now sitting down just to chill out. In a minute, I'm gonna light up a cigar. But what I kind of figured out is this fire pit's just, it's not good. That is where a lot of my hacking and coughing to them, because that fire pit, you're inhaling fumes. Like you're it's like you being a firefighter with no mask, no oxygen, and I'm just sitting here, and I'm sure Julia would agree that fire pit, that smoker just got into your body so much that in all reality, I puff on cigars. I don't inhale cigars. And I've smoked cigars so many years of my life, and I really haven't had the coughing issue, so I really think it's this fire pit. Now it's being warmer time of year, but the thing is, forget that. I'm just like, forget it. It's cool to have a fire here, especially in the colder months, and the aroma of the smoke, but at the same time, oh my gosh, you suffocate yourself. My whole barn has filled up with smoke where you're gasping for air. So I think more than anything, my hacking and coughing is more associated with this damn fire pit. And you know what is incredible? I'm saying fire pit. My good friend Andy Self, who was in the Air Force, look at this here. These 3 birds just all popped out of my barn. It's a threesome. Good Lord. My good friend Andy Self, who's in the Air Force, he oversaw these fire pits in Iraq. He was over in the Iraq War, and one of his responsibilities was to monitor these fire pits. A fire pit in the Army is where they dig a big-ass hole, and they throw all of their garbage into this big-ass hole, and they just torch it and burn it. But you're talking about they're burning metal. They're burning everything that's trash, because when they're in Iraq, they don't have the resources to go use Iraq's infrastructure of all the waste. And so the Army, the military, whatever you want to say, Marines, Army, Air Force, they all resort to digging up a big piece of, like the pond, picture that half the size, and they just throw all their trash in that big-ass hole, and then somebody has to monitor it as it burns so it doesn't get out of control. Meanwhile, you as an Army, or you're a military enlisted person, you're inhaling all of that hazardous material. And that's what killed my friend Andy Self. Because it destroyed his lungs. He had compromised lungs from being in the military. Surprised he didn't get a payout or settlement for that. That's ridiculous. They should at least give you a mask, like a firefighter. If you think it through, why wouldn't they have given these guys a firefighter's mask with an oxygen tank to be monitoring these fire pits? They don't breathe the fumes. Hello? I mean, oh my gosh, where do I get paid sometimes for my incompetence? But at the same time, what you just think would make sense. I guarantee there's other people on my channel will say, oh yeah, I have a friend, I have a relative, I have a cousin, I got an uncle. They did that. And their lungs were destroyed. Why didn't the military give them the proper gear to like fighting a fire? Duh. And it just drives you nuts about how all the money we give this freaking the military, the defense. I mean, our military budget is through the roof. But the dumbasses run the show. Just like Putin. Do you realize right now that they're averaging 30 million recruits? 30 million. They're saying that like every 90 days, or maybe it was a year's time frame. I'm not real sure. But basically, in Russia, if you become a military volunteer, which I don't think they're volunteer anymore, if you're over there in Russia and you're recruited to be fighting against Ukraine, they're saying that there's 30 to 40,000 soldiers are being killed on a regular basis. Now, once again, I'm not sure I heard it right. Is that on a quarterly basis or once a year? I'm not sure. But they're saying, they're already speculating so far this year, 5 months in, that Russia's probably about 30,000 kill of their own people. Can you imagine knowing as a Russian young person that you're going to be recruited in the army, they're going to track your ass down, and that you probably have, you just know that the odds are against you. It's so bad. And what they say is Putin doesn't give two craps. He does not care if all these people are dying. He doesn't care. It's just part of owning and running a country where he's trying to take over Ukraine. And what's the numbers in Ukraine? I have no idea. Well, it's so sad, everybody. We over here, we harbor on the hardships of not things being too expensive or this or that, politics. But yet, over in there in Ukraine, in Russia, parents are losing their kids, friends are losing their friends, brothers are losing their brothers, I imagine sisters too, and it's just a freaking all out, what do you call it? What do you call it? When does it end? When does somebody stop the war? All for greed, all for mankind's greed, all to enrich themselves, sacrificing all these people where they'll never get anything. You as a military enlisted person, you'll get nothing in return for sacrificing your life, your body, as Putin or Zelensky will get all the money paid to them in the end. What a joke. All right, now what do? You light up a stogie. Which my son-in-law, wow. I have a son-in-law that bought me a cigar? No way. This iPhone sucks. I have no idea. If you heard what I just said, I said, I think this is the first time that I've called Chris, my son-in-law, and he's a great cigar picker. He smokes cigars. He knows cigars, and he does a great job. He used to come up here and bring cigars. Here's the thing. The kid, here's what's never been talked about. Chris used to come up here and hang out with us on the property with Julia because she wasn't allowed to leave the property to go hang out with him when they weren't married. So he slept in my camper, but we hung out here in the evening having great conversation, talking, blah, 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 blah. He used to come up every weekend, and now, poof, gone. Oh, well. The life of a father-in-law, right? So there you go. See, I puff on them. I don't inhale them. There goes the electric bike kids. Yeah, the rowdy kids in the neighborhood are out on their scooters. They're little, whatever the hell you call those damn things. I don't even know what you call them. But anyways, yeah, so, it was pretty cool. Julia, Chris, and I, my son-in-law, would all hang out here in the evening. He'd come up like on a Friday, stay Friday, Saturday, head back Sunday. But now, I'm the forgotten one. But they're saying if we come down there, Yeah, I mean, I will. There's no doubt I'll go down there and hang out with them. I'm not against it, but it's just managing the property and the dogs. It's never ending and then it turns into, well, I tell you what, that won't work this weekend because here's the number one thing: the wife's going away for the weekend, so that won't work. And then the following weekend, I don't know, but the following weekend and going into that week, I'm gonna have to start getting ready to go to Florida. Yeah, so right now, what I have to honestly say, and then Brian's gonna be going away, blah 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 blah. So me for June's already booked up. So I don't know, maybe it's July. I don't know, man. Still uploading videos, everybody. I am still uploading today's videos. Now this is on my iPhone, which totally sucks because videos get lost, they get disorganized, and it blows me away on how last night I was sharing with everybody how much money I spend a month on all these toys. And so I had what was originally called the 70K video. And what that video was talking about was how much money I used to spend every month. If you go a year ago and you counted how many cars I had, it's what I did in that video yesterday that's never recorded or populated. It's the biggest mystery in the world. I had about a 3 to 5 minute conversation and talking about how a year ago, what cars were here, how many vehicles did I have, and I know for a fact I didn't have the Colorado, I didn't have the Blazer, and I didn't have the heavy-duty Bison. I don't think. Maybe I had the Colorado. Maybe. But then I had the Corvette Z06. I had all the Fords. And I was showing everybody, as I was walking around, I was talking about all these different motorcycles and all different cars. But, I mean, I have no idea where that video went on my iPhone. I have no idea. It's a mystery. I'll have to look for that on this phone before I give up on that. It went to iCloud. I don't know. Whole point is I spent a lot of time explaining to what the debt is a year ago to have this channel and to show off all the toys I have and how much money I was spending. And then you come to more present times of me getting rid of 10 vehicles, but I still have a huge amount of debt. And if you ever walk around, I have 20 motorcycles that all have payments on them. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I'm like 10 or 11 cars. I mean, so anyways, that was a whole video called 70K video, 70K a month, because that's how much money I was spending a year ago for all my toys, all my cars and trucks and motorcycles. And eventually it's like, this just doesn't work anymore. And that's why you saw me by summertime say, it's over. I just got another Ford discrepancy. I don't even know which vehicle it is. $39,000 discrepancy. Did you hear that? I have one of my vehicles that went to auction. I now have a $39,000 discrepancy. Ford's saying before we send this to attorney, if you agree to pay us $951 a month for 36 months, we will not take attorney's actions. I'm at the point with Ford, like, screw you guys. Why did you ever agree to give money to a guy where if he had to get rid of the car, you're at fault, Ford. Sorry, you're the dumbasses that bought the deal. You should have to pay dearly for it. So just come chasing for the money. No pity, man. Ford fucking sucks. You know why they suck? Because they'll be more than happy to lend you money at any extreme. And then when you can't pay it no more, they're like, oh, well, we know we let you bury $40,000 in negative equity into a car. It's not a big deal. But, when the discrepancy comes, you better pay us, buddy. No, you rolled the dice. You pay the frickin' bill. Asshats. And for the dealerships, it's the worst. The finance people, the sales people, they'd be like, hey, Gary, hey, Iceman, it's not worth it, dude. It's not worth it. This is too risky. Hell no. Oh, let's do it. Let's do it. Come on. So you know what? Those good old days are gone. Anybody's watching me or Kuhn's Baltimore Ford? Oh, well. Are you going to help me out? Hey, you going to help me out for all the money I gave you guys? I mean, how many hundreds of thousands of dollars did you make off the Iceman? Are you going to give any back to help him out? Hell no. Why would I do that? Yeah, you're my friend, really? Hey, you made bad decisions. No, you helped make me bad decisions. That's the
Here's the
reality.
dogs
Here's the
going
dog.
now to this other end of the property. No, no, come on back. So we got Diesel, we got Rebel, and we got Gypsy. All three of them are all spread out. So I got to start up the four-wheeler to get them all back here. But that's a whole other video on top of one of the other videos. So which one do I publish first, right?